This is Street Smart on the Ground, where I answer your travel questions based on my experiences on the road over the last several decades, traveling through the developing world. This series specifically about bus safety, and today's question, is it safe to travel by overnight bus in Latin America? And I'll expand that context to the developing world. Now, I've avoided night buses. I haven't taken one in at least 10 and maybe 15 years. It's been a long time. I have taken them in the past. This one was in Colombia. So this past weekend, I took a bus from Pitalito, a little bit further down south, up to a place called Armenia, which is west of Bogota. It's a coffee growing region that's pretty popular with retirees and nature lovers. And the only route that I could find was the night bus. And I thought, okay, I'm not crazy about night buses, but this is the only option that I can find. And I could have broken it up in the day, but it would have meant transferring buses and it would have made a much longer trip. And I haven't taken a night bus in a long time, so I thought, okay, let's try this, and I can report on my experience in the next episode of the bus safety series. Happy to report everything was really cool. It was boring, it was safe, I didn't feel uncomfortable or threatened at any point during the trip, and I'll outline some of that experience in this video to pay it forward. Now, night buses. Why would you take a night bus? Two main reasons. One, they're faster. No traffic at night, very little construction, no congestion. It's a much faster way to travel. And you can usually get a direct, not direct in terms of there's no other stops, but a more direct experience with fewer stops, so it takes a lot less time. They're faster. Reason number two, equally compelling. They're cheaper. Now let me clarify, I don't mean they're cheaper than taking day buses. I mean, if you're traveling and you need accommodations, if you're taking a night bus, that means that basically becomes your hotel for the night. Obviously not a hotel, not as comfortable, not as convenient, but it means you don't have to pay for a hotel because you're going to be on the bus. So those two reasons, faster, cheaper, really good ones. Now, the bus itself, super comfortable, big seats, they're reclined, there was an entertainment system, everything was in Spanish, so there's movies, ebooks, audiobooks, music, videos, all kinds of stuff to keep you occupied. The bus was supposed to leave at 8:30, left about 8:45 p.m. We got in around 7:45 a.m. And that trip was over a little under 500 kilometers and a little over 300 miles. And the equivalent day route would have meant multiple stops and transferring buses, and I wasn't really wanting to deal with that, so I took the night bus. As soon as I arrived at the terminal, I could see everything's really well lit. There's a bunch of people there, vendors, the people working in the ticket offices, bus staff, and most importantly, security staff, armed security staff. I didn't see what they were armed with aside from nightsticks, but they were fit and they were uniformed, and that plus the cameras and everything being well lit put me really at ease. I thought, okay, these guys, they made some changes since the last time I took a night bus. And I want to emphasize, I've never had a bad experience on night buses, but I've heard about a bunch of them. So I prefer to travel on day buses for the most part, but if you're traveling a long distance and you can get a direct route, then the night bus is definitely worth considering. Also, on the bus itself, a bunch of cameras. I am pretty sure I saw 3 different staff on there at various times of the night, checking on the passengers, everything okay, anybody need some help, make sure everybody's sitting in their proper seat, things like that. Big seats, they recline, you got the entertainment system, USB charger, reading light, just about everything you need. Baggage storage, you put your bags in the storage, there's a sticker put on the bag and you're given the other half of that sticker when you go to claim your bags. It's like a coat check, baggage check basically. When you get off the bus, you give them the sticker, they give you your bag. As always, and doesn't matter, night bus, day bus, make sure that you have your valuables either on your person or on a bag that is with you at all times. I don't put my stuff in the overhead storage. It is with me. I have a money belt and I have a bag that has anything that's of any value with me, just in case anything goes awry. I know my stuff is right there. Nobody's going to be able to access it. The other thing, a big reason why I don't take night buses, is because I can't sleep on buses, trains, planes, cars, subways, like anything. I've never been able to sleep on them. Because I was relaxed and felt that everything was safe here, I actually managed to sleep for about 3 or 4 hours, which is a record for me. Not a full night's sleep, but I felt way better for getting some sleep than not getting any sleep at all. So for all those reasons, security was great, the bus was super comfortable, it was a VIP double-decker bus, it had everything that I needed. It was an 11-hour trip, so yeah, it's an investment of time, but it's a much more direct route than if you're taking day buses and trying to do the same trip. So this episode is basically to say I had to revisit and revamp my prejudices or biases around night buses. Provided there's no security issues in the areas that you're traveling in or through, I'd say definitely take a look at the night bus. Your call whether you take it or not, but I was really impressed and had to revisit my previous stance on night buses to say that, yeah, if there's no civil unrest going on and it's a reputable company and the security measures are in place, and we didn't make any stops between terminals. There was no picking people up and dropping them off on the side of the road. Everything went through terminals, and all the terminals, well lit, cameras, security guards, everything. So it was a very good experience. This obviously is one route in one country, Colombia, so I'm not saying all night buses are created equal, but I will be taking some night buses when I go on to Ecuador and then when I travel through other parts of South and Central America and beyond, just to update the channel and ideally pay forward any tips that I found along the way. If you have any questions about bus travel in the developing world, please drop them below. I'm happy to use those as the basis for future episodes. I also am doing on-the-ground volunteering, another series, and I have a bunch of other series set up to do these same things where I answer your travel questions. Thanks for stopping by. Happy trails. See you in the next one.